Good morning, good afternoon to all of you attending from around the world. Thanks for joining this Agile Assets webinar on the Global Partner Program. My name is Nick Frank. I'm the senior producer at Agile Assets. I'm going to be the host today. Our speaker today is Joe Garvey. Joe brings more than 25 years of government and commercial experience to the practice of infrastructure asset lifecycle management. As the Chief Growth Officer at Agile Assets, he provides strategic leadership to senior teams that serve as trusted partners to engineering consulting firms and IT service providers serving transportation agencies in the U.S. and abroad. Drawing on his skills in economic analysis, strategic planning, change management, and enterprise communication, Joe takes a customer-centered approach to helping agencies and their partners solve strategic asset management challenges, big dollar impacts. He served for years as a member of the Transportation Research Board Committee on Information Systems and Technology and was appointed by the U.S. Secretary of Commerce to the District Export Council and has served on a variety of additional national and international advisory councils. Joe, we'll send it over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Nick. As Nick said, my name is Joe Garvey, and I'm the Chief Growth Officer at AgileAssets. I'm glad you've joined us today for this webinar, and I'm excited about the opportunity to show you as a partner or potential partner of AgileAssets that you can improve not only your own business, but also add substantial value to your current customer base, as well as together how we grow asset management and how we use it in our collective industry. My aim of the webinar today is to provide you with the key understanding of how the program works and the benefits associated with that, as well as how to get engaged in the partner program so that you can make an informed decision about your level of involvement. Hopefully, you will come away with some new ideas and inspiration of how you can help your customer base with the application of AgileAssets technology as part of your service and solution offering. I encourage you to reach out to us and with any additional thoughts or questions that you may have. We'll cover a lot of information. As Nick said, this will be recorded, and we'll have time for questions and answers towards the end. A quick overview of what we're going to cover. Before jumping right into the program, I want to spend a few minutes identifying what we think of why infrastructure matters, a little bit about our company overview, talk about what we're offering on a product level and the solution. We'll spend most of our time on the Global Partner Program itself. We'll talk about ways to get engaged, how current partners are engaged, talk about some of the upcoming events that are scheduled, including a couple of additional webinars specifically of how to get your hands on the technology and then understanding how the marketing efforts support the partner development process. We'll finish with an invitation that talks more specifically about bringing you in to learn more. And then we'll also have a Q&A for things that maybe we didn't cover fully. Let's talk about why infrastructure matters for a minute. I think you will agree that infrastructure asset management is more important than ever. As a key driver for growth and prosperity in any society, and as a way to ensure the best value for the use of money in decisions and operations. AgileAssets is very versatile, and we are always adapting to change. In fact, the world demands it. New technologies, changes in the economy, new competition, all of those things require that we continue to adapt and to evolve and to advance the offering that we have. And we focus on that product and that solution offering. And we put that technology into the hands of others to be able to help manage important infrastructure to drive the economic and societal growth. Over the next few weeks, we're going to continue with the partner webinar series that I just talked about, and including of how to get your hands on that technology and how to leverage the marketing engine of AgileAssets. As a starting place here, let's talk about the AgileAssets mission. Our CEO, Mr. Stuart Hudson, has made it clear on what we as an organization need to focus on. And that is our mission to improve people's lives through better, safer, and more economical infrastructure by providing the world's best and most widely used asset lifecycle management software solution. We are in the business of improving lives through this mission. Our day starts with how do we serve our mission? How do we drive this forward? And how do we do so in a profitable, thoughtful, sustainable manner? We have powerful software. The market has spoken. We'll talk about that briefly here in a little bit. But in order for us to serve this mission, we also need to become the most widely used. And a core strategy for us to do that is by the AgileAssets Global Partner Program. We need you. We cannot accomplish our AgileAssets mission without your help and your participation. By you adopting some of the technology at the appropriate times to be able to use as part of your offering, for us to put that technology in your hands, that's what this is all about, so that we can continue to grow and make a positive impact in the world, to become the most widely used asset lifecycle management software solution. It does require you. But it's not just you alone, it's all of us in an ecosystem. The asset management industry is a very specialized and highly sophisticated ecosystem where clients and infrastructure owners and existing partners and other industry contributors, as well as AgileAssets and our company, are all involved in the continuous evolution, the cross-pollination of ideas and answers to those ideas, answers to those questions. At the heart of all of this ecosystem, in our view, is the enterprise software solution that AgileAssets provides. It's the basis upon which we can all leverage and improve the world. So we consider things such as collaboration between you and the customers and all of us as a critical component. We work strategically with both you as well as infrastructure owners and other technology partners to grow the positive impact of the solution. Together, we innovate new solutions, new methods, new uses of the existing software, and the development of additional capabilities in that software. We learn from all of us. We learn and we share and we grow together in that knowledge to advance the industry we're in. So I was having a discussion, in fact, earlier this week with one of our premier partners, and we were discussing some ideas, some observations they had in the need of the market and the capabilities that we were providing. And we were able to come up with some new ideas together that will advance that product offering for both them and for AgileAssets. Ultimately, that will trickle out into the broader industry to make better decisions, to become more competitive, and to make a bigger positive impact in where we live. We continue to expand capabilities to these different challenges, the challenges not yet known. I mean, it's hard enough with the challenges we know in front of us, and then the world keeps changing. New challenges in the economy, new challenges in society. All of these things happen with new assets and new connections, and we want to continue to grow those capabilities together. We want to grow in a very sustainable way. We want to apply the use of business activities in the development of revenue and generation of profits and return on investment for the stakeholders of you and your companies. As private firms, you're all looking at this as, how do I make sure that this grows my revenue and includes additional profits in my world? That's important. And where we set our infrastructure asset management to solve asset management challenges, we've designed the Global Partner Program to help advance revenue and profits for you. So, as a trusted advisor that you have earned, a very well-deserved reputation that you have, we want to provide that technology to you for your consideration to use when appropriate to benefit your customer base, and to do so in a sustainable, financially beneficial way. In that process, you will attract more success and continue to grow, and that will serve our interests as well in becoming the most widely used software in this industry. The company overview. We've been around for a long time. We've been around now. I was talking to Stuart recently, and we're in our 26th year. And so we are about ready to finish the 26th year. We're one of the first asset management software providers to embrace online and web-based solutions. We are now fully cloud-based, and we have a healthy mix of engineers and developers and academics. While we're based out of Austin, Texas, we have our teams globally positioned throughout the world. In the US alone, we are proudly providing the foundation to keep a tremendous amount of road lane miles. Over half of the highway networks that are managed by the state departments of transportation are already managed in some way by AgileAssets. We have tens of thousands of bridges and tens of thousands of pieces of equipment that are major pieces of equipment. And tremendous amount of people day in and day out are the beneficiary of the AgileAssets software. And that helps us to stay focused on saving time, saving money, and saving lives. And we want you to participate with us on that. Here's a little view of AgileAssets in terms of the customers that are currently benefiting from our software. In the US, we have 22 states that are the asset management system of record. Now, these are not divisions in one place. These are of the state or of the state DOT. You'll see the most complex states are working with AgileAssets. More than half of the highway miles, as I pointed out, that the DOTs manage are there. And we also work with many additional agencies. In fact, we have toll authorities, West Virginia Parkways, the Pennsylvania Turnpike. These are all customers of AgileAssets. And we have a continued growing amount of local agencies. You'll see a series here, and I want to point a couple of things out. Number one, you can see all these orange dots that are continuously growing and growing and growing. We have some that are selected here that we've identified, but there's many more. And what's interesting is there's some clustering around here, but there's also a tremendous amount of opportunity throughout the United States alone to be able to benefit from the AgileAssets software. From a global perspective, in addition to the United States, we are being used by national or other provincial state agencies aggressively more and more. Now, what does that matter to us here? All of that means that we can accommodate a variety of client types. We have clients with different languages, different legislative requirements, different methodologies. They all use the same product. The high configuration capabilities and the ability to be versatile in the product deployment that you, as the partner, drive. So this opens up opportunities for us to expand and to be your asset management system of record for you inside of your country. Wherever you are in the world, we're very proud of the capabilities that we've provided, and we think that they're going to be relevant for you. If we can handle all of those different types of agencies, I suspect we can help you and your customers. At a product level, I want to talk about us from the asset management system alone. And you will see that our products can be translated into enterprise solution that supports critical functions throughout the area. Now, starting at the very bottom, this is the base. This platform base is what every user of AgileAssets has. It's the platform that allows for security, the database management, configuration tool sets, reporting, etc. So whether you have one user and one module, or all of the modules and 10,000 users, this is all under the same software. Next is the operations management area. The operations management area includes things of cover the operations from now through the next 12 to 18 months. And that allows us to deploy the work. You'll notice here that we have the mobile enabled. Each one of these are able to handle mobile devices, and we're very proud of the mobile work. Michael Lester, our Chief Operating Officer, has driven us very much in terms of mapping and mobile devices. And we're very, very happy with what that's been able to do for us. We also have planning and analysis, and many would say this is the real heart value and a major differentiator between AgileAssets and other alternative asset management systems. The ability to make better decisions, the powerful true analytics, the mathematical analytics, the integer optimization, and the built-in tools to make better decisions on the major dollars of that is very powerful. Every one of these modules are available for more discussion, and we can go into much depth about it. They are all done on a module basis, so you don't need to buy all of them at once or use all of them at once. The customers can select which ones they need for that business. We talked about the ecosystem. We have contemporary API technology that allows us to integrate with a variety of different systems out there to draw data in other areas. And that ever maturing AgileAssets API is a very powerful capability that we think is critical to be able to support that ecosystem. Whether that third-party integration is from the financial or the ERP side, Internet of Things, capturing sensor data remotely, any type of the traditional purchasing. The GIS, you'll see we are very strong as an Esri partner in the GIS, as well as internal capabilities for mapping. And of course, in an asset management for infrastructure, the ability to accommodate linear referencing systems and location-based data is critical. When you step back at the business modules, you think, okay, well, what does that really mean to me from a partner that can serve my customers better, and what these benefits are? Well, first, it's an enterprise class system. So your customers get the benefit of being able to tie into their other systems, to be able to have industry strength of security, administration, being able to use the systems administration module, to be able to grow on an enterprise level with multiple business areas as you need. We also have easy access. It's a browser cloud-based solution. You can simply, from any device, from any computer, anywhere in the world, as long as it's set up and configured in a way to be able to provide that access, it's easy to do. By being cloud-based, not only is it easy to access, but it's able to be deployed from a web service environment to be able to provide out there where you have tremendous benefits of a cloud offering. We'll spend a little more time specifically on that cloud or the SaaS benefits, as well as specifically how it benefits you as a partner of AgileAssets. As I pointed out before, the module approach, being able to just activate the modules as they're appropriate. It doesn't require use of all of that. So the portfolio should not be overwhelming or distracting. It should use whatever module is appropriate, and that can be done. Powerful reporting. The AgileAssets advanced reporting capabilities are recognized, the dashboarding, the reporting. We had our webinar recently. It was one of our better attended webinars, and the continuous views on it from both current customers and active partners, as well as prospective customers, are looking at this. It's on our website, www.agileassets.com. You can find it under, I believe it's under resources and maybe webinars or something of that type. Find that. It's very powerful. It gives very good visualization of what's happening there. And then finally, an aspect that we have found to be very important is we have continued to stand that we are data custodians. If you're a customer of ours, we do not own your data. We are the custodians of that data. We manage it on your behalf, but you have access to it at all times. So in short, the AgileAssets products and services support full service for you. As a partner, this is beneficial so that you have the tools available for you and to be able to support the customers that you need. I mentioned cloud offering. Software as a service, or SaaS, is the way we've approached this. Now, the industry recognizes this more and more. And in today's world, if the use of cloud was interesting, it has now gone over the top. We are seeing more and more demand, especially during this time. So in addition to the traditional maintenance and hardware and the scalability and managing upgrades and the process of upgrades and some of the headaches that the industry has seen, we do away with all of that, include all of that under one predictable and scalable, a single subscription on a per user basis that can help us and help you provide that access to your software that's always current. Some of the specific areas are, it's faster to deploy. You start with a URL and you have a standard product and you build that out. Very rapid deployment. You can imagine with the agencies that I showed earlier, security is a big deal for us because not only is each agency care about security, we are the custodians of that data and have a very strong incentive to ensure the security. The software is always current, and there's a particular benefit to you as a partner. From the customer's perspective, they are able to find out that the newest release has that capabilities, and then they can use that capability. They don't get stuck behind the use, they don't get stuck behind an upgrade for the use of that. It's also very predictable in the cost. So each one of these things, we can go into more detail. But I want to focus for a moment on the unique benefits for you as a partner in this way. When we started with the software, the cloud offering, some years ago now, we were the first web-based solution with the Wyoming Department of Transportation, maybe gosh, 10, 12 years ago, maybe longer. I think it was longer than that. Well, as a cloud offering now, this is a major, major game changer. Why is it a game changer? Well, first of all, the powerful systems that it allows, the same software capabilities that the Texas Department of Transportation or the Highways England or the Indonesia Public Works, the same system that they use is now available for any sized agency, including micro agencies. So where you've got a large network that has 100,000 miles, we now have deployed. The software can benefit agencies with roads fewer than 100 miles. And that's because it's very scalable. The game changer also because you can accommodate peak demand. You don't have to size a technical environment. Now, that is a huge deal for the agencies that have maybe strong training needs. So there's no need to scale up hardware for that peak because we can accommodate that. And because it's all delivered under a cloud, under the cloud solution, it provides substantially lower cost structure for us that we can then pass on to our customer base, which means they have more additional funding to support and get what you want. So you have the ability to bring this as an offering to them in a way that was not before available. The other thing is it's always current. So imagine this, there's a new reporting capability, there's a new analytical capability, and you are working with one of your customers that uses AgileAssets. Well, once that happens, if they don't upgrade, you can't generate the additional services and value for them because the benefits and the functionality are caught behind an upgrade. In the cloud SaaS offering, it's always current. You have the most current software, and that's always able there. You're not dealing with multiple versions, so you're not managing versions between multiple customers of yours. So you have many customers using AgileAssets. You don't have to wonder which version they're on. They're always under the same area. And you're able to put functionality and not dependent on an upgrade, which may be very valuable. Your business folks at that client agency may want that upgrade, but they may be in a queue of other IT-related demands the agency has. This eliminates all of that. We also have easy implementation. We have a standard product now that's more robust and more advanced than ever. And that means you start with a simple URL and receive value out of that access nearly immediately. With the onboarding program that we've put together, and we'll talk about in a future time here, a future webinar, go into more detail. But with that onboarding program, the team gets up within tens of hours, maybe 30 hours, to be able to get trained and up and have a system up and running for an agency. With the software cloud offering, with the AgileAssets cloud offering, you are able to better service your customers. You are able to access your customers' use of the system where you don't have to have IT and infrastructure issues. So you're able to do that. And ultimately, you get accelerated revenue. And through all of that, it's a major impact that can enable us to be where we are now. An example that I like to share is the city of Austin. Now, the city of Austin, these are their numbers, this is their case. They published this out. And by using the AgileAssets software, they were able to recognize the need and how they would deploy the funding if it was received in an engineering-driven way. They were able to configure the decision trees and the engineering models to be able to handle the treatments and to be able to accommodate the costs associated, to manage the timing in a smart way. And they were able to provide confidence to the decision makers of how they would take that additional funding and deploy it in a positive way. And they're competing against other money that the city has and other funding the city has for other places, not only in transportation, but health and human services and education. Well, they were able to use AgileAssets, use the decision trees, and to be able to generate an additional $16 million of additional funding over that 3 years. That is very, very powerful. Well, let's transition now to the Global Partner Program and talk about what it is. The AgileAssets Global Partner Program supports you as a partner in developing an AgileAssets practice that complements your services to include the world's best asset management software. It allows you to understand the technology incorporate the technology as part of your service offering, and helps you develop and leverage the relationships that you guys currently have. So the Global Partner Program was specifically designed to support partners in 3 focus areas. The first is to grow your revenue and profits. They can develop new sources of revenue to add profits to your bottom line, to expand your capabilities, elevate your asset management practice. I call it unleashing your technical expertise. Your ability to compete and your ability to be innovative on an engineering and business practice for asset management allows you to be doing that. The ability for AgileAssets software to accommodate your innovations is very, very powerful. And then the third thing is, how do we make sure that this program helps you to leverage your existing client relationships? You can branch out into additional business lines, provide more capabilities. While we all understand that asset management is a growing practice inside of our industry across the globe, this allows you to provide that type of offering inside of there. And you can rely on AgileAssets to deliver and support the software required to be able to meet those needs. So from a structure perspective, there are 4 areas to identify. The first is partner success management, marketing and community, revenue and profit, and the onboarding and implementation. And we will discuss each of those in the coming area. First, partner success management. Partner success management means we are dedicated to help you succeed. If you invest time, energy, and resources into becoming an AgileAssets partner, we're very motivated to be able to make sure that you're successful on that. The first thing is a dedicated AgileAssets partner relationship manager, someone that can help you navigate AgileAssets, understand how to get the information that you need, make sure that you get the support for the sales and for the proposals and for everything you need. So you have someone, a person, a dedicated person to be able to help you. Secondly, sales support. You're going out there and wanting to include this. This begins with planning. How do you incorporate this into your practice? We are here to help you incorporate the AgileAssets capabilities into your practice, whether that is, here's what it is, adding it, whether that's sales materials, sales brochures, PowerPoint presentations, whatever that case is, making sure we're right there. You also need help in terms of, how do I demonstrate AgileAssets? How do I present the capabilities in the relevant environment? How do I demonstrate the functionality? We're there to help guide you, to train you, to go through that process. Oftentimes, there's a sales environment and a demonstration system. You see an asterisk there, and that asterisk recognizes there's a technical certification required to be able to have direct access to the software. However, as part of the AgileAssets Partner Program, we do enable you and we provide you with a dedicated sales and demonstration system so that you can continue to develop your own knowledge and present that to the customers in the context of your offerings. Oftentimes, they say, hey, you know what? It sounds good. Help me understand what that would take on a proposal basis. What are you exactly offering? What do we exactly get? What exactly does that cost? In fact, even some of the times they say, we want that included as part of some request for proposal or other tender offer, and we're there to help you support that. It's important for us to make sure you're successful through the partner success management. The second part of this is marketing and community. The first part is we enable you through the contractual relationship between our entities, the ability to use the AgileAssets branded materials and logo. That gives you the right to be able to incorporate our materials as part of what you're offering, to be able to demonstrate and show our logo with your materials, etc. We want to make sure that's there. Even further, you need to be able to become a certified AgileAssets partner, get the recognition for that, elevate the additional confidence and credibility to your prospective customer or your customer base or whatever you're pursuing. In addition to that, we allow and even encourage, but allow, you don't have to do it, but we can allow, say, hey, if you want to have your logo as part of our list of partners, our marketing engine is very powerful to generate demand. That demand shows up at our website and they say, hey, who can I work with? I could work with directly with AgileAssets on their delivery, but there is a way that they can point back to you. And that logo that gets clicked is we put a URL in that logo that fires them back to your website at the relevant landing page that you designate. So as a certified AgileAssets partner recognition, very powerful for you as a partner. As I pointed out a minute ago, we are actively generating demand, lead generation, lead nurturing, and bringing more awareness. We have particular focus in this year of local communities. We're also pushing additional pavement and structures and safety in all these areas. And so as our marketing group is out there generating that demand and actively engaged, that generates awareness. So oftentimes when you think about, hey, is this something that my customer would like? Maybe they're already familiar with us. And if they are familiar with us, they're going to find a lot of comfort that you are an active, engaged, and certified partner. You have access to the AgileAssets Partner Portal. This partner portal is an online venue that provides secure access to the relationship between you and AgileAssets. It provides contractual information, proprietary sales material, PowerPoint presentations, proposal materials, etc. By becoming a certified AgileAssets partner, you have access to this information and this environment, including there are oftentimes there's leads that we generate who say, hey, I think they're asking not so much for just the software, they're looking for the expertise associated with it. We say, hey, it's in this region, and this particular partner or set of partners are qualified. And we think that is very valuable to help continue to bring revenue and profits to you. And then exposure at the AgileAssets Xchange events. There are many ways that we provide exposure opportunities in front of our current customer base at our events. That includes certainly attendance so that you're welcome to participate, meet our customers, meet the users, learn their stories, and continue to develop your capabilities around that. Also, speaking opportunities. We value the opportunity to have partners bring in their customers to be able to share that and get more exposure for both the good things that you're doing as well as your customers. There are exhibit opportunities where we want we're going back to this entire ecosystem model that we talked about a while back to be able to provide that. And then, of course, there are some sponsorship opportunities in the event that is of interest to you. Revenue and profit. Based on our experience, partners find that they are more competitive and they win more of their traditional business when they're including powerful software of AgileAssets. When you can include the AgileAssets technology and capabilities as part of your traditional business, you become more competitive, you win more. It's a very strong way to grow your traditional operational business. In addition to that, not only do you have more competitive in traditional business, you have additional service revenue of the deployment efforts and the effort that it takes to, number one, develop and deliver that technology, and number two, maintain that over time where they need additional reports, adjustments to configuration. In fact, all of our subscriptions, we recommend that you could include an additional service line of an annual recurring revenue for your practice of being there to support them, whether that's 40 hours a year, 40 hours a month, 40 hours a week. Making sure that you include some level of effort to help them make the most out of their investment in that technology. And then finally, there are commissions earnings. There's a tiered commissions early. There's something there. We can talk about that, but it generates financial dollars available. There are two models there. There is the model of direct cash commission earnings, and there are also some alternatives to that where you want to maintain more of an agnostic area. That can happen as well. So there are ways to be able to generate more revenue and more profit by including the AgileAssets technology and you becoming a certified partner. In terms of onboarding and implementation, we have programs and resources to help you understand and your team understand how we approach the value proposition of AgileAssets, become familiar with the products, how it operates, how to engage with this, and there's a sales environment there. How you utilize that is completely your decision. But as part of that onboarding practice, you become familiar with what we're doing so that we can help guide you, give you ideas, and teach you how that works. You have the same preliminary materials that we use anytime a prospect and a customer say, we'd like to learn more. There's a technical onboarding program along with the valuable resources. We have a very powerful onboarding jumpstart program that we have a separate webinar on, but this is where, for a very modest investment of resource and time, you're able to get hands-on capability. This is the certification that I was talking about where you have become permanent access or regular access for the technical demonstration and sales environment. And this technical onboarding process has been proven very successful. In a period of 5 sessions in less than 20 hours, your team is able to get up and running and stake a URL and turn it into a program where there's a business module at the end of it. The design here is to make sure you have everything you need and help you get there and handhold you through that to have the capabilities available for you to be able to turn around and help your customer immediately. There are training opportunities at all of our AgileAssets Xchange events. These Xchange events are very powerful, where there's additional product training and capabilities that are both before and during that event. We have partner days at the Xchange, and this is where there's a dedicated time to spend with the partner and the community of partners to be able to learn and share and grow together, to share ideas between a sales partner and a technical partner and both. Maybe a specialist in bridge wants to understand somebody, get another partner's availability to help them in safety. There's a variety of opportunities that partners develop amongst themselves, and that's a networking platform that we include. And then finally, there's continuous training. Our product group is hard at work every single hour of every day, including new capabilities, bringing new functionality, fighting for the high value decisions and the high value elements of the product. And that training needs to be made available, and we make it available in multiple different ways for you as a partner. In terms of engagement, let's talk about what does it take to get there. The AgileAssets community, you saw the map that I showed. This capabilities in this community continues to grow and grow and grow. And we want you engaged in that. Not only do you have access to the resources, there are great opportunities where you can become a contributor to that resource. You get more exposure. We have podcasts maybe that we highlight you and your customer. We have a case study where you've been able to bring something to it. So whether you're an existing partner or your prospective partner, the AgileAssets community is a very strong capability there for you. We also have, and on top of that, conferences and these virtual events. I talked a bit about the roadshows and about the Xchange conferences. Well, we're very active in that. In fact, our traditional conference has been held in Austin. We are also been reaching out this year and in the coming years of a Roadshow Xchange where we have these events. In fact, let's talk about those. Right now, the Xchange Roadshow conferences, there are 2 scheduled. They're the East, October 5th to the 7th, and the Southwest, which is October 12th to the 14th. You'll see the asterisk there. Given the current circumstances in our environment with the coronavirus, these are going to be delivered on a virtual basis. But they're still dedicated to the East area, the markets, a particular area. They're not limited to that, but they're focused on that. Same thing with the Southwest. Planned, not yet scheduled, but planned is also London in April of 2021, Reno and Minneapolis in May to July of 2021. And each of these include early sessions where we're bringing partners together and helping to educate on new developments of the partner program, bring in conversations regarding the elements that the partners care about, and allowing networking opportunities where partners continue to work together as partners. There's also, I talked about these additional webinars. I'm going to highlight 2 of them just to help you understand what's coming down the pipe so you can make sure to look out for them. One is this onboarding webinar, Technical Jumpstart. This is it's up to a 90 days. So we have up to 90 days to become certified, up to 3 to 5 people to become trained, learn how to apply it, validate. There's a certification process so that that can then be used in your proposals and in your confidence. You know that you've invested wisely, your personnel become certified and they become familiar and confident that they can take that URL and turn it into something of value. And you can use that in your sales and promotion materials so that you're able to communicate the confidence and the familiarity you have with AgileAssets. It also gives the opportunity during that period of 90 days, if that does prove to be something of value, then you say, okay, let me do that. And in the meantime, let's get our corporate partnership between you and AgileAssets properly organized within that 2 to 3 months. We also have a marketing webinar. You'll recognize we talk a lot about the marketing power of AgileAssets. I'm so impressed and proud of the marketing group of AgileAssets. They've done such a tremendous job. There are some particular things that are very unique to you as a partner of AgileAssets. In addition, there's the communication, the thought leadership, the demand generation. There are unique capabilities that we're doing to get you engaged, to get direct benefits, to provide to you so it can support your marketing efforts, to generate more demand and more awareness. We want you involved in that process so that you get the direct benefits. And again, it helps us because it serves our overall mission to become the most widely used asset management lifecycle management software. So I talked about an invitation. I hope that today you've gotten a little information about AgileAssets, about the product solution that we have, and a little more information about the structure and the details of the partner program. I invite you to learn more, to contact us, to engage with us, and to determine how or if it makes sense for you to incorporate AgileAssets as part of your practice. We want you to join us to help grow your revenue, to develop new sources of revenue through the innovation. We want to be able to bring that together and to be able to serve your business. We think by serving your business, it does fulfill our mission. We want to expand your capabilities. We want to help you elevate the asset management practice, which on a global scale is growing so aggressively. In times of constrained resources, managing the assets well is very, very important. So an investment in AgileAssets, an investment in asset management is a big net positive return for those agencies that own those assets. And then finally, we want to help you strengthen the relationship you already have. But you have competition too. You have other firms out there that are trying to get your customers. You've worked hard to bring value to them. Continue to strengthen those relationships by offering AgileAssets as a valuable component of your service offerings. So with that, we invite you to grow your business with us. And I'll have Nick back to you so that you can facilitate this question and answer process. In all cases, I look forward to hearing from you and learning about your business so that we can grow together.
Awesome, Joe. Thank you so much. We're going to bring our speaker, Joe Garvey, in to answer some live Q&A. Joe, good morning, good afternoon. Our first question is, as someone who knows about maybe the reputation of AgileAssets, but they've never really used the software, how does someone learn about the software to evaluate its capabilities for their clientele?
Well, thanks, Nick. There's a few things there. The first is that, through webinars like this, becoming more and more familiar. We talked about continuous training. There is a lot of resources on the web. We've got a lot of videos. I think I did reference our reporting webinar. So you'll find a lot of resources at the web for preliminary interest. Of course, we're inviting you to come and speak to us. We can provide you more details and give you a demonstration of the software. And then there's also the technical jumpstart that I mentioned too. Just to clarify, the partner program is designed to give full-time access to the software, but you have to know it. It's a sharp professional's tool. And so becoming familiar, being trained, and being certified at the very front, even as part of the evaluation process, is something that's part of that technical jumpstart. So hands-on experience and hands-on access is what most partners say, hey, I want to get my hands on this stuff. It sounds cool, but I want to feel it.
Oh, perfect. What level of investment is required to join the partner program?
Well, primarily, I think when you start thinking about the partner program, the question is, can it help you advance your business strategy? And so the primary focus on the investment is your time and focus. That's important. It's a business decision for you and to help to serve your practice. So that's the primary resources is time and focus. There is an initial one-time onboarding fee for the technical hands-on software that takes some time. And we'll talk in more detail about that at the next webinar, but that is a program that is designed for you directly, you and your team directly. It's a pretty modest fee, and there's some variations there. So we'll talk about that more detail later in those of interest. There's an annual administrative fee of $3,600 for being a member of the partner program, but that includes the dedicated technology with a sales and demonstration system, access to the partner portal access, the marketing and technical support, so forth. So there is an ongoing administrative fee as part of that partner program. It looks like actually there's another one, Nick, here. There's a question that says, let me read it here. Since this would be new for us, will you please explain in more detail what happens when we find an opportunity and need your help and respond to the client? Oh, that's a good one. That's very common. We realize, first, let me say that the partner program is a journey. You become familiar. We didn't talk about the different levels, but there's a preliminary level. Maybe a partner becomes familiar with the base technology with a single module. And then as they grow, we have, say, a partner that has multiple modules, multiple certified people. So there is a journey there. But at the beginning, they say, okay, we got to write a proposal. How does that work? Well, we talked about our partner success management process. The partner success manager, you have a dedicated person. We help walk through that. We help you to qualify, say, hey, does the technology even meet, or what functionality does it meet? We help walk you through that. We provide you boilerplate information to be able to apply to that proposal, and we help navigate with you, especially on those first couple, to get up and running. So there's a lot of nuances around all this. We really invite you to, let's discuss what that looks like. Part of this process is generating confidence in making sure that the program is there to properly support you.
Great answer. So this is a more international question. So, AgileAssets has a good track record in the United States, but what about in the European and Middle Eastern territories? Do you work with any EMEA partners? Is the client landscape pretty similar to the US, or, do you see some new opportunities in that European, Middle Eastern territory part of the world?
Yeah, I'm so proud. One of my original layers of interest for me personally and professionally was the work that Stuart and his team were doing internationally. And so we've got a rich client base in Israel and concessions throughout Europe, Highways England, I referenced earlier today. There are a growing number of partners that are happening, and there's a growing amount of work that is throughout the Middle East and in the European area. There's some work also in Northern Africa. We've got a bit of an open opportunity of some work in the Asia Pacific area, but that's an area that we expect to expand to. Our core area there is we don't have the ability to know all of those areas, so we're really looking forward to partner with firms that can understand the local relationships, the local regulations, the local reporting requirements. I think our relationship with Esri Technology opens an important window for us there in that area. But I guess I think of how many countries we're in, but there's a pretty rich number of users, and it's continuously growing.
Great. I think we have time for one more here, and this is probably a good one to close out on. Is what do you look for in a partner and partnership? Is it size, capabilities, market impact? Is there anything else?
Yeah, that is really the central question when we're getting to understand a partner. The number one is, are they involved in asset management, or what is their involvement? If they're engaged, in providing engineering consulting services to help owners of infrastructure manage those assets in some ways. That can be through data collection, through asset management, programming, et cetera. We're looking mostly for what is the maturity of their existing asset management practice. If there's already some level of an asset management practice there, that is a very strong candidate to be able to benefit the most from the AgileAssets Partner Program. And then also recognizing not just the existing practice, but those firms that realize how critical asset management is going forward. And I think it goes, is there a synergy? Is there a mutual appreciation for the mission? And if so, there's likely a good opportunity to extend from there. It is we continue to work with firms one project at a time. The purpose of the Global Partner Program is to establish a platform to grow together over a longer period of time, to develop the AgileAssets practice as part of that offering for that partner firm, and then to recognize that will take a long duration to be very successful for the partner's client base.
All right, Joe, that's probably all the time we have for questions. Do you have anything else you want to add before we close it out?
Feel free to share this information. Hopefully you've been provided some information and received some information and maybe a little inspiration. We live in some very challenging times. The coronavirus and the whole COVID-19 has established a bit of a disruption in how we operate. I was very fortunate that the onboarding aspect was designed as a online distance environment. It's a personal online environment. We'll talk more about that at the next webinar. But if you're looking forward to learn about it quickly, certainly give us reach out to us now. We have seen a great level of interest in the program, and so we're very, very excited about what's happening. So feel free to share this with your colleagues in your firm, and we invite you to come learn more and consider how AgileAssets can help serve your business.
Once again, big thanks to Joe Garvey for presenting this webinar today and answering the questions. If you do have any additional questions that you didn't think of now or didn't get answered, either email us partners@agileassets.com. You can find us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, all at AgileAssets, and then finally at info@agileassets.com. Once again, thanks everyone for joining. Have a great rest of your day. We'll have emails out for our next partner webinar, so be on the lookout for that, and we'll see you for our next webinar.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, everybody.